It's early summer 2019, and the tunnel that runs under the sea between France and England is 25 years old.
We conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop.
There's always nice things out of the window, always.
It's an historic moment, and as staff work through the A to Z of tasks in preparation for Brexit,
Merci, thank you.
it's the perfect time to capture a portrait of life at the longest undersea tunnel in the world.
Yeah! Yeah!
For over 130 years, it's been the dream of engineers to link both sides of the Dover Straits. An alternative to that stormy crossing had to be devised. In 1869, Dr. Lacombe invented this strange sea tram, and Bob's your uncle. Other projects included a fantastic submarine-driven boat. And lastly, Lowe's plan. It was in 1867 that William Lowe submitted his twin tunnel scheme. These diagrams show in detail how the twin tubes are constructed. Perhaps someday the tunnel will materialize. And while we're about it, why not a tube to Australia? Well, here's one little difficulty. Gravity pulls him to the center and momentum carries him on. The game might go on until, to save him from starvation, he'd have to be blown to bits.
I don't understand how you would create a tunnel underwater.
Do you know what I think?
Because how do you separate the water?
I know what they would have done. They would have dug a hole. They've dug a hole under the seabeds. They haven't like suspended like a tunnel.
The idea for the Channel Tunnel as we know it was born in 1867 and became a reality in 1994.
I love having stamps.
We must look so weird, we're just sat here looking at our own passports.
Yeah, but I think it's always good to reflect on your travels. Nothing wrong with a bit of self-reflection. You know, a little trip down memory lane. Yes. Better than no trip at all.
The twin tunnels connect Calais in France to Folkestone in England.
That's a horse, Christian. On the you see on the field.
I've never seen that before in my life.
That's a horse. So the symbol of Kent is a white horse.
And in the last 25 years, more than 400 million people have zipped through at 140 kilometres an hour or more.
Oh, no, stop it! Take us off.
It's run by Eurotunnel, a Franco-British company that's taken the initial idea to a whole new level. Because running the busiest railway system in the world means doing everything strictly to the letter.
Oh, I don't like this.
This is a company whose officials love initials. So after a quarter of a century in business, it's A for anniversary.
Happy birthday, Eurotunnel.
Happy birthday.
And B for Brexit.
This is what post-Brexit Britain looks like, people.
But C is what it's always been. That watery thing everyone's going under to get to France for their half-term holidays. Tanya Pettit works at the Folkestone Terminal Control Centre, or TCC.
Just checking what letters they are for the low vehicle so I can keep a track of where we are for the day.
The letters are important. They help get drivers into the right lanes for the right trains, so they can go on time, or even sooner.
What we do try to do if people arrive early is try and get them away early, and then that frees up a little bit of space later on so that we're not under so much pressure. So just checking what's coming through.
So far, everything is FAB.
OK, so we all like days like this when it's when all goes well. I sigh of relief at the end of the shift.
But it could all go au contraire very quickly, because passenger allocator Guy Waldham
Cab Romeo 2, what was your count there, please?
has over 300 carloads of holidaymakers to load onto the next 3 passenger shuttles.
There's 5 minutes between the first 2 and then another 7 minutes in the third one. So it will be a constant load, constant. And on the overbridges, they'll split the traffic and put it down to the first train, second train, and third train. So we'll be a lot of movement of vehicles in the next half an hour. B3 will be a 43.
Luckily, Supervisor Sarah Crowther is on hand with some high-energy fuel, so Guy has almost everything he needs.
Any chance for gin?
The trains are flowing and the cars are loading, and all is well, until Guy utters a 5-letter, 2-word combo that Sarah can't stand.
B3, SIR is 112. Oh, that's wrong, my bad, it's on B2. B2 is
Guy!
SIR 1212.
No way! Get out. Ali, take over from Guy.
Why, what's up?
I can't believe you've just said
What's
that,
he do?
Guy.
What did he say?
That's what he's just
Sorry, I
said.
can't believe I said that.
Guy, how old are you?
Learning teams are on B2. B2 SIR is 1212.
We've got lots of youngsters starting up here, new people. And they use this saying that I've just never heard of before. Instead, when they've done something, made a mistake or done something, instead of saying, oh, sorry, they say, oh, my bad. I mean, what's that all about? And I just think it's so unprofessional. And I've warned them all when I'm on shift and I'm supervisor, they do not say it.
Do you want me to go home?
You are? No. No. Nice try, yeah. Smell the chocolate.
Yes, Glenn.
While Guy comes to terms with the repercussions of My Bad Gate, down at the Automated Border Control, or ABC, it's E for E-gates at the all-new Smart Passport Check for coach passengers. And the test drivers en route to Monaco for the F1 GP have just arrived at the pristine passport chicane. Unlike most EU members, the UK opted out of the passport-free Schengen zone, which is why passports are checked here by French Police aux Frontières, or PAF. So in theory, what happens here post-Brexit should be more of the same, only with extra technology to speed things up.
I just didn't know whether it would take a long time, and obviously we're trying to catch an earlier shuttle train, so it was very smooth and very quick, so not a problem in the end.
While coaches and high vehicles go on the tall single decks of the passenger shuttles, cars can fit on top of each other on the double-deck section of these giant submarine trains.
What type of people use this method of going to France? Like, is it more Brits or is it more French?
I want to say more Brits.
Because
yeah.
then, like, we're going to the continent.
Because you can get this and you can drive Germany, Spain and so on. We're going to drive to France or drive Bognor Regis.
It's a new day at the TCC. And Guy's My Bad moment is a distant memory, because Sarah is on BBW, Binocular Brexit Watch.
French PAF are trialling a thing for Brexit today where they're doing 100% checks on all the coaches coming through. And it's a really busy day for us on coaches. At the moment, there's 5 coaches queued up there waiting for a search, which is delaying them getting to the lanes. We're really busy today. We've got 122 coaches booked, so if they're pulling every single one, then they're not going to make their departure when they get round here. It doesn't look like it's moving very quickly.
So while Sarah keeps an eye on the queue,
There's 1, 2, 3 that I can see.
it's Alison Fair's job to do something about the slow coaches.
They're pulling every coach now so that they can do all the checks all ahead of Brexit so that they know what they're going to be doing when that actually happens, if and when.
They are missing their booked departures because of it. You might get some... Yeah, they will do, yeah.
With no control over what happens at the passport checks, and with every train fully booked, all Alison can do is move other passengers onto earlier trains to free up space for the late-running coaches, which means moving as many passengers as possible up the alphabet.
So I'm forward shipping other vehicles so that when they are released, there'll be room on the next train for them. So, because there's no way they're going to get round here in time to get this one.
How many wagons did you get away on that last one, forward shipping then?
I don't know, most of it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be happy today, aren't they?
Yeah.
Apart from the coaches.
Well, you just stand to the side. Well, never end. Or maybe we're just driving to the ones, you never know.
You think this is where we're just
Driving to.
Are we in the tunnel?
Jojo's nice and calm.
Yeah, wish I were.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
While her passengers relax with snacks in the back, train driver Tash Speed is up front in the cab, where P is for pressure, or at least it used to be when she first started the job.
For air pressure, everyone would know that's been on an aeroplane that at some point, usually in the ascent and the descent, your ears really struggle to find balance and you find it hard to clear them. It's essentially the same going under the seabed. Your air pressure is slightly off and your ears fill with air and you need to clear them. When I first started, not only were they full all the time, I actually struggled to clear them. And now I don't even notice that it's happening on the train. And really lucky for me actually on an aeroplane, so I don't really suffer anymore from the air pressure.
In fact, there's only one thing Tash really suffers now, and that's people's amazement that she's a deep-sea driver.
I've become a bit of a party piece where I stand there and everyone takes turns in guessing what I do for a living, and not a single person has guessed correctly, and their mouths fall to the floor and then they recover themselves and they go, oh, that's fantastic, but it shouldn't be like that because my women colleagues have been here for 25 years. It's not a new profession. There are many women that drive on the main line and many women that, you know, drive down here. You know, I think people even find it shocking that we have female truck drivers. Why? Anyone can drive. You don't necessarily need to be a man to do it.
After 24 miles under the sea, Tash is exiting the tunnel, or as it's known in these parts, popping the hole. And just above the hole, a collection of artists has gathered for some extreme painting, commissioned by Eurotunnel to celebrate its 25th anniversary. The design is by French street artist Isol Digan, otherwise known by the initials YZ, pronounced eyes.
Bye.
And that's a clue to what her team is painting here. By projecting the image onto the wall, they know exactly where to paint. But to see the projection, you need darkness. So this is a nighttime job at the tunnel that never sleeps. The final image will be revealed to the world after 2 more nights of work, with the artists blasted by air every time a train goes past. And that air causes an even bigger problem for the trains inside the tunnel. This is because of a tunnel phenomenon called the piston effect, where the train acts like a piston inside a gas pump. As the train moves along the tunnel, the air compresses, friction increases, and the train slows down. So to relieve all that pressure, the twin tunnels are connected by tubes called piston relief ducts, aka PRDs. There are 195 PRDs in the Channel Tunnel. That's one every 250 metres. High-pressure air flows through the PRDs in either direction, from the front of a train in one tunnel to the back of a train in the other. It's a simple, energy-saving solution, and it works well as long as the PRDs get regular TLC. Tonight, a 3-man team has driven down the service tunnel to roughly halfway between England and France. The giant crossover doors at the French end have been opened to allow trains to bypass the midsection of the South Tunnel, so the team can get to work.
Let's get cooking!
It's hot and humid inside the tunnel, and layers of protective clothing don't help.
Get some high-vis mankinis or so.
So it's a sticky walk
Wash your toes.
to the PRD.
Oh, you didn't even need the hammer.
No.
So strong.
Yep, add Weetabix Day, kids.
Tonight, Phil Regan and Kevin Miles are completing the overhaul of this PRD.
Well, you just have to get your leg over, Kev.
They're fitting a new diffuser, a barrier that breaks up the high-pressure air whooshing from the other tunnel so it doesn't blast into the side of a passing train in this one.
32.
First, they remove a blanking plate they fitted 2 nights ago when the old diffuser was removed. This requires a steady hand and good communication between the Englishmen and their French colleague, Gabine Cuny.
Good.
Yep, that's good.
Now they can get the new diffuser into the hole.
Get the platform in.
To avoid any franglais confusion, the 3 ducteteers
Other way.
rely on waving a lot
A little more.
and shouting "whoa."
Whoa. Whoa, I'm good. Whoa. Whoa.
It's a 2.5-hour job with brief moments for conversation.
Kev, if you have to do a proper film about the tunnel, who would be your film star? I think in Van Diesel for me, i.e. no hair.
And there's always room for the occasional innuendo.
Kev, I've got an adjustable span in your pocket.
Not in my pocket.
It's a fiddly business,
It's just been a bit of a mare.
and Phil is feeling the heat.
A little bit hot, a bit sweaty, being a bit warm down here. Alright, I think that's done. Crane out of the way.
Finally, the diffuser is in place, and this PRD can go back to work.
Still old dropper.
Meanwhile, a few miles closer to England, the UK catenary team is in the tunnel, looking for faults in the overhead cables that power the trains. They can spend hours walking down the tunnel.
Over there.
But this could be the last time they ever have to look for faults on foot, thanks to what you might call tunnel vision.
Yes, white coffee, no sugar.
Today is a big day for catenary team boss Mark Cornwall.
I mean, there's nothing there.
3 very slim TVs have arrived in Folkestone, and so has Mark's French counterpart Eric Bourret and his assistant Loic Vasseur.
Ah, okay, so we're going to have to renew cables.
This is a world first, a whole new way of examining high voltage electric cables from the comfort of your office chair.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so you can see every nut, every bolt, everything that you need to see.
Voilà.
From now on, instead of slogging for miles under the sea looking for a faulty cable, the catenary team will send a van through the tunnel with ultra-high-definition 4K cameras on its roof.
The new van will go through videoing all of the catenary, and then we will replay it all on these screens. Eric has got his already set up in France, so he knows exactly what he's doing. Don't you, Eric?
Non plus?
No.
All they need to do now
Ah mince alors.
is find the right cables and get the 3 tellies on the wall.
If you've ever put a telly up at home, you know how big a job it is. It starts off as a small job. Then two hours later, you're still trying to put it up. You're thinking, hold it, I should have got someone in to do this.
With the TVs finally in place, it's time for stage 2.
La seconde étape.
What's that?
No,
2.
Second step.
Second stage.
Second
Correct.
step is
Perfect.
Down at Folkestone Harbour, it's also time for stage 2 of Eurotunnel's 25th anniversary mural. With former Folkestone resident Isol Digan projecting her artwork for this side of the tunnel onto a wall facing the English Channel.
We finished the big piece in France, so it's very exciting to finish this one in Folkestone. So it's an easy one, and it's by the sea, and it's nice because I come back in a place where I used to live, so I can, you know, see my friends and I can leave a kind of testimony, so it's nice.
The archways are just the right shape for Isol's idea. A design that will complement the mystery mural on the French side when it's finally revealed in a few days' time.
I wanted to show through the eye of a little girl the link that we can have in between two countries, and she's looking at others, and how do we see others? How can we be curious about the others and want to go and see them? I'm done, so that's the final layer. So I think it looks better when you're far away, so I hope when you're on the harbour arm it will look nice.
Oh, bye, sausage roll. Come on, England, give us a goal. Do you remember that?
The UK may be leaving the European Union, but it's not leaving Europe.
We're bringing it home, baby! We're bringing it home!
And it's not leaving European football competitions either.
We're going to Madrid on a road trip down to see Liverpool play Tottenham in Champions League final.
I haven't been able to concentrate at work this week, just like reading articles and just crying and just telling everyone that I'm going to Madrid.
And told the wife I'm going to Madrid, even though I told her a few weeks ago that we couldn't go to Rome for a weekend because we can't afford it.
Most of the fans have chosen the tunnel route because airlines have bumped up the prices of flights to Madrid to cash in on football fever. And for many, this is a voyage of discovery.
I've just found out it's your 25-year anniversary, and this is the first time I've been on it. Yeah. So, ever.
Just seemed the easiest option to do. I think Dover's further away, isn't it, I think? So, tunnel's nice and simple. It could be great.
And I don't normally get to travel with my great-granddad that often. You know, he doesn't. He likes to be within the toilet within 5 minutes.
Nice, I'm sure you'll edit this bit out.
But there is at least one fan here who's a tunnel veteran.
When it was first built, I was one of the idiots that went, I don't want to be connected to Europe. It's just a miracle. It's like, thank God some engineers know what they're doing.
It's time for stage 2 of Channel Vision, the arrival of the UK's 4K camera van. Step 1 for the UK team, how not to crash a left-hand drive.
Don't know where he got his licence. Keep going back. Right, woo there. Perfect.
The French catenary team is already solving electrical problems in the tunnel with their 4K camera van, so Mark Cornwall is keen to get the British team up to speed.
So we're all happy?
Yeah.
So step 2 is how not to crash a hard drive.
Should always be stored inside the suitcase.
So there are the drives.
Pull this little lever here and it will open this one.
These drives will store massive amounts of data from 3 4K cameras mounted on the roof of the van. The cameras point upwards to film every inch of catenary on the 31-mile journey through the tunnel. So step 3 is how to ensure your cameras can actually see what they're filming inside a dark tunnel.
You have a switch here which controls the light inside the van.
Yeah, there you go.
The only thing left to do now is get the van covered in Eurotunnel logos, so the team doesn't get mistaken for truckers when it's travelling on the shuttles.
Eurotunnel at the front, and then whatever we're going to call the van on the side. Someone needs to come up with something really witty.
2 days later, Mark is in the driving seat.
Right, here we go. Remember, I'm not the best driver of mine.
His first 4K camera van mission, proudly at the wheel of the technological marvel that is Vanny McVanface. Having parked up on the shuttle, Mark travels like all freight customers on a bus to the club car. And as the cameras start filming, he can check on the footage on his laptop. But he's not convinced he's got everything right.
It seems very dark. I'm wondering if the lights are working properly. It's all a learning curve, isn't it? Well, it's for me.
Mark contacts Eric.
Okay, see you soon. Bye.
To tell him he's en route and keeps his fingers crossed that he's actually filmed something.
There we go.
On arrival in Calais at Eric's 4K studio with its avant-garde catenary artwork, the moment of truth has arrived.
Ah, there we go. It worked. It worked. Hey! It works. No problem.
No problem.
No problem. Yeah, it's good.
From now on, every inch of both tunnels will be inspected each week using this new system. Eric is impressed.
Good, Eric?
Good. Very good.
It's 1-0 to Team GB, and they think it's all over until a spectacular late substitution at the French crossover.
There you go. Oh, look how shiny that is. Look. Beautiful.
Look,
yeah.
Matt.
Look how shiny
Look, Matt.
that. Yeah. Beautiful, I know.
It's
Yeah.
a new part.
Brand new.
In a surprise move, Eric has sneakily replaced all his section insulators, or SIs. So glory is shared, pride is restored, and another initialism has made its mark. And just in time for the most important business of the day.
Manger?
Oh.
Hello?
The
Yeah,
first
you all
4K camera van mission is a success.
I'm just getting on the HGV to come back from France. We are away. Sorted.
And as Mark heads back under the sea to Folkestone, there's a celebration at the mouth of the tunnel.
It's very strange to have the train going through the binoculars.
Isol is back to see the results of 12 night shifts.
That was quite a bit of work.
As Eurotunnel's 25th anniversary mural is revealed. Now, there's a brand new link between Folkestone and Calais. For a company that loves initials, what could be more appropriate than two enormous eyes?